Okay, guys, let's jump right into it. This is our weekly watch list video. Before we get started, hit the thumbs up for the video. And if you're new, subscribe. So this week, we have a lot of earnings on tap. We have Netflix on Tuesday. We have Tesla on Wednesday. We have Snap. I'm not going to name all of them, but this is a very heavy week. And what we want to listen to is what the CEOs are saying about inflation, dollar strength, and recession. Those are going to be three very big things, and obviously what they guide. So we're going to want to not look so much for their earnings the past quarter, but what they're going to show us going forward. A lot of guidance. We need to see that. We need to hear what they have to say. So big earnings week. What we don't have is a big economic news week, which is great. Finally, I feel like every week there's been something that's been really moving markets. So this week is all about earnings. Going into our performance by sector. This is on Finviz. All you do is click on groups and you could look at the one-day relative performance, financials, healthcare, energy, technology. They all crushed it on Friday. The market was up big on Friday. 1 week. Well, there's nothing here really that much, if anything, in the green. Utilities and healthcare were at the top. They held up the best. For the week, we basically opened where we basically closed where we opened the week. So that's why you're seeing a lot of red there. 1 month, healthcare, consumer defensive, utilities, you get the point. But this is good to look at and see what is catching a bid. And that was financials on Friday. Huge, huge days there. So that's that. And let's jump right into our compass, the SPY. Where are we going? Where did we come from? Where do we see potential for demand and for supply? Also using some technical analysis like this downtrend line right here and the 50-day moving average, which is right here. So this is the daily chart on the SPY. What we have seen is a tremendous amount of demand here. You had a triple bottom here, and then on Thursday, we opened up over that. So the futures were down. We opened here just above that area and have taken off ever since. And not just that, we've seen some nice volume here. We saw a little bit lighter volume on the red days. So that is also bullish. Something else that's bullish is this RSI. We're making higher highs and higher lows. So that's great to see. But like I said, anything can happen when it comes to earnings and what is said during that. But this is nice. Nice demand here. We got over the 20 EMA, and now this is going to be the next area here for potential resistance. So that's the SPY. Going over to our technology, our QQQ. This is a very nice setup. So before I get started here with this, I want to show you what a multiple confluence trade could have been, and that's right here. So you have this downtrend line, this purple line. We broke above it, and a lot of times price likes to come back down to it before taking off again. So right here, multiple confluences just means you had multiple reasons to go long off of this. You have an ascending support trend line here, and you have the bounce off this downtrend line here. So this could have been a very nice spot to get long during Thursday when we bounced off of that. So that being said, We have the 50-day moving average up here. These tend to act as resistance. We saw this play out right here. Could not break the 50 moving average, came back down, and now is going to be retesting it again. If we can break that, you have to be careful because we have a double top right here. So if it can clear this hurdle, and we're making higher lows, if it can clear this hurdle, then you can make your moves back up into, the 300s. But just keep an eye on that. Also, the volume profile looked good, and the RSI also looks strong. So if that continues up in this trend of higher highs, the RSI will make new highs that it hasn't made since this move here, which was a nice move. All right, so we got that. That's the Qs, and this is the SPY. I just wanted to go back to this. Looking at this on the weekly, this candle right here is a bullish hammer, very, very bullish candle. So like I said, we came all the way down here during the week. Every one of these candles represents 1 week of trading. You don't just want to look at things always on the small time frame. So for the past month, this is the range we've been in, but this was a very nice bounce here. So that's a bullish hammer. If it continues, who knows? But a lot of times you get these candlesticks and they're just trying to show you something. They're trying to paint a picture of where that demand was. And once that demand comes in, well, the odds of breaking through increase. And that's just this weekly candle telling us that. Also on the Qs, sorry for going back. I know I started my Dow Jones, but I wanted to show you guys this. Look at that candlestick right there on the QQQ. Another bullish hammer. If we can break out, this can really get moving. So like I said, earnings are going to definitely matter, but for the week, that is a nice sign on some pretty decent volume. All right, now going back to the Dow Jones, looking at this on the 1 year, like I said, demand here came back up and now is breaking over the 20 EMA. So you have gap fill here. To get there, you have to break through the 50 moving average, which has not been done since, way earlier in the year. Rejected here, rejected here. So the move up to the 50, and that first move is usually a rejection. So just know that the market's coming into this. It's coming into a lot of overhead resistance. If it can eventually break through, you have gap fill here to 323, and that's on the Dow. So now looking at some of the stocks here, I'm going to bring up our Discord. These are the picks from last week, and these picks from last week, they still are very much in play this week. So a lot of these stocks, like Pfizer, for example, was coming up to the penny to this downtrend line. Okay, right there, coming up to it, like I say here, to the penny. See how price reacts to this. If we could break out to the upside, if we can't break out to the upside, could be a short opportunity. And we'll come over here to Pfizer and we'll start there. Like I said, like I just showed you guys, the rejection to the penny at this downtrend line could have been a nice trade there. So going into our next one, bringing back up our Discord, was Apple. So I had posted this a week ago, noticed an inverse head and shoulders pattern with the breakout to the upside, and that continued. So let's go back over here and we'll go to Apple next, and where we could possibly see this one going, because this had a nice trade here if anybody took it, but now again, this is coming into a bit of resistance. So when something's support and then acts as resistance, comes back up to that same spot, what we're going to want to see if it doesn't consolidate for a little bit is that breakout. And if it does break this, then the 200-day moving average is very much in play. But until it breaks this resistance, there's really no reason to get long Apple yet. We have to wait and see what happens there. And I've noticed actually a lot of stocks are coming into this 20 EMA on the daily chart. Going to show you guys, because the 20 EMA acts as resistance. So if you have a lot of stocks that are coming into the 20, and if it's acted as resistance in the past, then the market overall might struggle. So just keep that in mind when you're trading this week. GM, another one, right into that 20 EMA. Google, right into the 20 EMA and rejected. We have AMD, right into the 20 EMA. We have down here XLF, right into the 20 EMA. We have Target into the 20 EMA. This cannot break here. A big one is Microsoft, right into that 20 EMA and pulled back pretty hard. And we also have NVIDIA. Same thing. Guys, every one of these charts is looking the same. This 20 EMA is acting as resistance. So you have a whole bunch of stocks that are coming into this. Let's see what happens. We're going to need to break this, and we're going to need to hold it. We don't want to break it and then sell back off. So a lot of stocks are coming into that. If you want to see some of those other stocks that I had from last week, you can also just jump into our Discord and see. But those are going to be the stocks that I'm focused on most. But I do want to add CVS to my watch list this week, because this seems like it's setting up and based out here and is getting some strength. If this can break out, CVS can go. I love the relative strength. It's looking strong from an oversold here, which is also good to look at. When the RSI hits 30, like it did here, you tend to bounce. So, keep that in mind. If you don't have RSI on your charts and always wonder why I have it on my charts, that's one of the bigger reasons. And you can also see here where it tops out and hits the top of the RSI, it then sells off. So it doesn't work out perfectly every time, but it does definitely show the oversold and the overbought levels really well. All right, so that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the thumbs up, and I will see you back on the next one. Take care, guys.